Welcome in. My name's Nate. This is Bailey, and you are in the penalty box, where you'll find the hottest sports takes, only the most serious of sports content. First official episode, and we're gonna kick it off with something a little bit fun.
Yes, sir.
We call this one really random rankings. So we have 5 athletes here, very random, and we're gonna give them to the other person, and they have to rank them without knowing who comes next. All right, you wanna go first?
Let's get into it.
Blind ranking. Feel free to give me your commentary on any of these players as I go. Number 1, Harrison Butker.
Harrison Butker, very outspoken individual. He's got a lot to say.
For sure.
He either moves the people around him or absolutely disgusts them. So, as far as
He likes to cry during.
goes, what'd you say?
I was gonna say he likes to cry during commencement speeches as well.
He does. Yeah. I mean, if I'm talking about my future wife, I'd probably cry too. Not that he was trying to egg on his wife, but everyone's got their opinions. Like Pat Mahomes said.
Pat Mahomes. Your favorite player is Pat
Your
Mahomes.
favorite player is.
Who your favorite teammate is? Pat Mahomes.
Where do you rank Harrison Butker, Bailey?
Harrison Butker, with the position, I can't put him in my top 3 just because he's a kicker. Kind of the cherry on top of a football team, really. But when it comes down to it, as a Bengals fan, sadly, he kind of always gets it done for the most part. Very high. I think he's in the 90s for field goal percentage. So I'll put him firmly at the 4 spot.
The 4 spot. All right. Next up, we have Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei Ohtani, generational talent.
Would you bet on him?
I would bet on Shohei Ohtani. And if I was Shohei Ohtani, I'd probably bet on myself.
I think you did.
I mean, I can't really put Shohei outside of the top 2 just because of the generational talent he is. And really a unicorn, even though it's two-sided. But, I mean, we've never seen anything like Shohei Ohtani. I got him firmly at 2.
What about Babe Ruth, though? You're not comparing the two?
Is Babe Ruth the next one, or are you just talking?
No.
As far as Babe Ruth goes, I don't think Babe Ruth is real. So,
Did you know that Babe Ruth was African American?
I did not know that Babe Ruth is African American.
Yeah, the Babe, and he ate like 10 hot dogs per game. What a dog! Hot dog. All right, so you got Shohei at 2.
I got Shohei at 2.
Okay,
and Butker at 4.
Butker at 4. All right, the next one we got is Joey Chestnut.
Joey Chestnut.
Speaking of hot dogs,
Joey Chestnut an athlete? He sits and eats hot dogs.
Well, he actually just expanded, Bailey. He's eating ice cream now professionally.
I mean, in that case, we could probably be athletes professionally.
Not me.
As far as ice cream goes.
Oh, as far as ice cream goes, yes. I eat ice cream every day. If anyone thinks that's weird, you're wrong.
Joey Chestnut, very dominating
glizzy
athlete.
gobbler.
He is the OG glizzy gobbler. There's no comparison to the gobbling of glizzies for Joey Chestnut. I'm gonna put Joey Chestnut at 3 just because of the sport. Not too much intricacies of shoveling hot dogs in your mouth.
Yeah.
He does dip it in water, so it's a pretty complex process for Joey.
It's a fair point. It's a fair point. Wait, so we got him at 3.
Yeah. What do you think about? You think 3 is fair?
I don't know, man. You got number 1 and number 5 open. So
yeah.
And the next one I'm gonna give to you is Angel Reese.
You talking about LSU National Women's Basketball College Champion Angel Reese?
Yeah. Shouts out Angel Reese, aka Sid the Sloth.
Hey, Lonzo Ball was low-key trying to get after.
Lonzo Ball was trying to slide at Angel Reese. I'm gonna.
What did he say? He's like, "Yo, Angel Reese, that ref was whack. Whoever threw you out, I got you, Angel Reese."
Yeah, I think he paid her fine too.
No, he did not.
Yeah, no, she got fined. Look it up. I think the story goes Angel Reese got fined.
Lonzo Ball paid Angel Reese's fine.
Look up the original tweet.
His career is over.
And I love the comments on that post where it's like, Lonzo, she ain't gonna let you hit, bro.
Hey, man.
Lonzo down bad.
Lonzo's down bad. Oh, my gosh.
That's what I'm saying.
Lonzo Ball offers to pay Angel Reese's fine after she's ejected from game.
Okay, so where'd you put Angel Reese on the rankings?
I'm putting Angel Reese at 5 just because of...
Angel Reese at 5, Harrison Butker 4, Joey Chestnut 3, Shohei Ohtani 2, and that leaves you with the next athlete is Draymond Green.
And let me preface this before I get into the best Golden State Warrior of all time, Draymond Green. Just because there was a slot for the 1 spot, I couldn't put Angel Reese in the 1. So it just went back down.
Oh, Draymond's way better than Angel Reese.
Absolutely. I mean,
If
there's no
Caitlin
argument.
Clark had a Draymond Green on her team, Angel Reese would not be bullying poor Caitlin.
I mean, last time I checked, Draymond Green has 3 NBA championships, and Angel Reese has 0 NBA championships.
And he starred in 4 movies?
What?
Yeah, Shrek. He's donkey, bro. All right, so how do you feel about your rankings, Bailey?
Feel good. Definitely wanted Draymond at the 1 spot. I'm glad he miraculously showed up there. But pretty solid.
All right.
For blind ranking, pretty solid.
Yeah, go ahead and hit me with yours.
All right, number 1, San Francisco Giants legend Buster Posey.
Ooh, Buster Posey. Is Buster Posey a Hall of Famer? Would you say? I think he's
Most
borderline.
definitely. He's most definitely
Yeah?
a Hall of Famer.
I think I need to play it safe here because I don't know if you're going all legends. So I'm gonna put him at 3. I think that's just the strategic way to win this game. So Buster Posey at 3.
Absolutely. Number 2, we have Devin Booker.
Devin Booker. I'm not big on the Devin Booker train.
I'm not either.
I know, but don't forget, a couple of years ago, everyone was saying Devin Booker was a top 10 player in the league. Maybe as far as girlfriends.
I would say he's still considered top 10 in the league.
top 10
Still.
player. Devin
Yeah.
Booker. You're
Devin
talking about
Booker?
Luka Doncic's son?
I mean, he is Luka Doncic's son, but I mean, Luka Doncic is about to be face of the league, I think, after they beat the Celtics.
It's a hot take. Devin Booker, 5.
All right, number 3, we got Saquon Barkley.
Ooh. I think putting Saquon at 4 is a little risky, but I think my list is perfect right now if I put Saquon at 4. So I'm going to put Saquon at 4 because I think Saquon is a better player than Devin Booker, and Buster Posey is definitely better than both. Saquon's I actually met Saquon Barkley one time at a restaurant I worked at, and he didn't tip. So when he blew out his knee, I was like, it is what it is. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Never
All right,
draft Saquon Barkley in fantasy.
We are on number 4.
Okay.
One of the best women's basketball players ever.
Oh, good
Sue
Lord.
Bird.
Oh, good Lord.
Sue Bird is a great player.
You see that TikTok where the girl's like, "You go guard Sue Bird then." One guy's like, "Who the is Sue Bird?" I really want to clip that video in this right now so people know what I'm talking about.
Boys always be like WNBA basketball thugs. You go guard Sue Bird.
Who the fuck is Someone? Who the fuck is Someone, man? What are you doing? Huh?
Then I'm not delusional.
We'll definitely clip it in there.
Sue Bird at 2. Sue Bird at 2. She's the second best bird. No. Third. She's the third best bird
She's not even the best bird.
after Larry and Big Bird.
She's not even the biggest bird.
She not the big. Oh, I forgot the biggest bird too.
I'm the biggest bird. Number 5, the last one,
Yeah, and they're going in the 1 spot.
is Phillip Rivers.
I love that list. As much as I don't know about WNBA.
As much as you love Josh Allen, you probably love
Sue
Phillip
Bird.
Rivers. Great arm, no championships.
Let me explain. First of all, don't diss a man who has enough kids to format his own NFL offense.
That's a great
right.
point.
How many kids do you have? 12, 11? Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
he's got-
Same woman too. This ain't no
9
Tyreek
kids.
Hill. This same woman.
That's a great point.
Phillip Rivers. This is my hot take of the night. Buster Posey's a Hall of Famer. Sue Bird is a Hall of Famer. I think this list is perfect because Phillip Rivers is a Hall of Famer,
I think the only
and he's
one...
easily a Hall of Famer at that.
Oh, easily. Most
Phillip Rivers is, I want to say, a top 10 quarterback of all time.
Yeah, I think I would definitely agree that Phillip Rivers is the best athlete on this list.
Yeah. I think that's a pretty good, and I didn't see it either. So next segment we're gonna go into is a European. This is in honor of Luka Magic about to sweep the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
I think we both agree on that. And it's a European basketball player draft. So we're gonna assemble our starting 5. It's going to be a starting 5 for each team. Position does count, and we're going to go back and forth in draft. And we're going to see who can assemble the best European player draft. And I would like to preface this and say Joel Embiid does not count.
Joel Embiid is not European?
He's from Africa. All right, you can have the first pick, Bailey.
Canceled.
Build your starting 5.
First pick, are you giving it to me?
Yeah,
Because
you can have it. You can have it. Take your pick.
European basketball players, I'm going to go with Luka Doncic.
Luka, first overall pick. I'm a big Luka guy, so
Yeah.
I can't hate on that. I
I gotta go with what's current. Easy pick. No, don't overthink it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a solid.
I'm probably not thinking about a whole bunch of European basketball players. Because
I'm gonna take this one because there's 2 guys I want, and I don't think you're going to think of this other one.
Okay.
So at my 4 spot, I got Dirk.
Man, Dirk Nowitzki has his figure on the court in Dallas.
Does he?
After he retired.
Do you know that Dirk and Luka played a season together? Did you know that?
Yeah, I knew that. I think it was 2, maybe. Was it?
It might have been.
Yeah, it might have been.
Might have been. All right, so I got Dirk at the 4. Where are we going after Luka?
For my next pick, I'm gonna go with Giannis Antetokounmpo.
One more time.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I don't really.
Greece is European, yes.
I don't really think he's European.
Greece is definitely European, sir.
Is Greece in Europe? Isn't he from Africa?
I thought they were gonna.
Interesting.
It looked like from this article they were gonna say something like he's not actually from there.
Interesting. All right, we'll give it to you. Giannis at the 4. All right. Well, I guess I'm left with no other option here, and I got to go the second best center in the NBA behind Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic.
Nikola or Nikola?
I don't know.
Okay, it's a good pick.
I don't think he cares how you pronounce it either. Dude's kind of a laid back dude.
That's probably a better pick than a Kumpo, but for me, longevity. Jokic doesn't look like he takes the best care of his body, so I kind of expect
Interesting.
the brakes to fall off.
Okay. Where are you going, number 3?
Number 3, I'm going to go with Pau Gasol. He's from Spain.
It's true. Pau Gasol is from Spain.
Definitely helped Kobe do a lot in his career. 2 NBA titles, 6 All-Stars, 4 All-NBA selections. So, won the Olympics 1 year. So,
True.
definitely going to put Pau Gasol front and center, literally at my 5.
All right. Next one I'm going is my 2 guard, and it's going to be Tony Parker. Tony Parker at the 2.
Pick.
Yeah, I mean, we're running low on guards here. I think Europe needs to get it together as far as producing some guard level talent.
Yeah, from what I'm looking at right now, it's looking like I'm going to have to put Rudy Gobert as my 2, maybe.
Yeah. All right, who you got for your next pick, Billy?
All right, for my next pick, I'm going to move Luka from the shooting guard position down to small forward, and I'm going to go ahead and throw Ricky Rubio at the 1.
Interesting choice.
I need a
choice.
I need a facilitator, so.
Okay. Yeah, so I got Dirk and Jokic as probably the best big man duo of all time, but I'm just going to keep it going and put Wembley Lamla.
Oh my gosh.
Wembley Lamla,
I totally forgot about
Mr. Victor, Dirk, and Jokic. I don't think anyone's stopping that, and I got Tony Parker at the 2, so it's all about finding a point guard right now.
That's a great pick. And it looks like I have one more pick at the 2. I'm going to go with... This is going to be kind of a controversial pick. I'm going to go with Tony Kukoc at my 2, just because of his big shot ability.
Interesting.
If I'm having a team that's very ball demanding, Tony Kukoc is kind of a good role player that I can put in there and be a very, very dominant role player.
All right, so I'm debating between Dennis Schroeder as my point guard and Frank Ntilikina. I was a big fan of Ntilikina coming out of college, but I think Dennis Schroeder's definitely been better in the league.
I'm not going to pretend like I know who the other guy is.
All right, we'll go Dennis Schroeder at the 1. So let us know who you think had the better starting 5. If you think it's Bailey, you're wrong.
I mean, if you have someone who's fumbling the ball,
Who's fumbling the ball?
Dennis Schroeder definitely fumbled the bag when he left LA. Turned down how much was that contract offer to play with LeBron, and he left.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Whatever Dennis Schroeder changed his jersey number to was the amount of millions he turned down to play somewhere else.
Fun fact
He was
about
in the
Dennis
70s.
Schroeder, he's 200th all time in assists. Would you believe that?
Probably not.
Yeah, right. And he's got lots of hair dye too. So
Yeah.
All right, next segment we're going to jump into is all about the NFL. We're going into the NFL draft. I know it was well over a month ago, but we're going to go into who we think won the draft, some teams that we thought got some steals, and who improved the most in the draft. So I'll leave it up to you to open the discussion, Bailey.
Pretty good draft other than the crazy Atlanta pick with Penix. We can get into that a little bit if you want, but
I would agree. I think Michael Penix is a solid prospect, though. It was just kind of weird they picked him that high.
yeah, but Penix wasn't even mocked to go into the first round.
I don't think he was making it past 12. I think Raiders were taking him.
I would have loved to see Penix somewhere. The sad part about it is we're not going to be able to see a rookie at this caliber take over a team that's kind of in the middle of the line that would get an instant starting job, especially in that situation in Atlanta.
But J.J. McCarthy.
J.J. McCarthy. I don't think it was worth the pick.
Hey, I'm not a big J.J. McCarthy fan. My pro comp for him is Joe Burrow. I think in a good system, he's going to ball out, but he's not in a good system. I think he's
Let's just put it on the air. Do you think Joe Burrow is a system quarterback?
100%. 100%.
That's just...
Actually, I know Joe Burrow's a system quarterback. I didn't mean to trigger you today. I do think, like, my comp for J.J. McCarthy was Joe Burrow, though. I think they're very similar players.
If Joe Burrow's a system quarterback, then...
No, don't get me wrong. Some system quarterbacks are really good.
He's not a system quarterback.
There's a lot
If Joe Burrow is a system quarterback, then so is Tom Brady.
No, because he played in multiple systems. Like, the Patriots had multiple systems in his tenure, and the Bucs system was way different.
Multiple keyword systems.
Don't get me wrong. I think Brady is closer to a system quarterback than he is a gunslinger, for sure. Like, I don't think Brady can slang that thing that well.
Yeah, so it's not... Don't call Joe Burrow... Don't look at it as the same thing as, like, a game manager.
That's really... Yeah, I mean...
Or is that what you mean? Let's put it out there. I mean, tell me how you feel.
Game manager or system quarterback? I wouldn't say Joe Burrow's a game manager. No, I'd say he's a system quarterback. I think in the right system, he can thrive. But if I don't know what system I'm putting him into, I'd be scared having him. Like, he's the type of quarterback. Like, you get someone like Aaron Rodgers, like, I don't care what system you're throwing him into. He's balling.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of quarterbacks
that's absolutely despicable.
I mean, you think Joe Burrow and the Ravens offense is succeeding? He can't move.
Joe Burrow can't move?
That's what I'm saying. If you put him in a run-heavy
Joe Burrow
system,
can't move?
Put him in a run-heavy system where you expect him to be able to run the football. No.
Like handoff run the football or
No,
mobility?
like mobility. He can't run the football.
Yes, he can run the football. The first time we saw him healthy when he dismantled the 49ers.
Joe Burrow's not a mobile quarterback. I don't think that's...
He's not a mobile quarterback, but he's not a brick.
So what I'm saying is a system quarterback thrives in certain systems and doesn't thrive in... Like, the Broncos took Bo Nix, right? I think he's going to have good success in Denver. Maybe not the first year. Because he is a game manager, and Sean Payton runs game managing system. He likes to get the ball out quick. He's similar to Joe Burrow.
So Drew Brees is a game manager?
Yes.
Really?
He's a really good one. I have Drew Brees in my top 3 all time.
All right.
But if you throw Drew Brees into a random system, I'm not going to guarantee that he's going to be good until I know what system it is. You put Drew Brees into a West Coast system, I mean...
Nah. I mean, Drew Brees balled out in the Chargers.
They have a West Coast system then?
Did Drew Brees play for the Chargers?
Yeah, he did.
For 1 year or 2 years?
I don't know. I know he played for the Chargers.
I mean, I don't think... Well, most quarterbacks in the league are all system quarterbacks if you're going to talk about it in that sort of technicality.
Yeah. Outside of Mahomes, Rodgers, Allen...
Dude, Mahomes is... If you're going to call... Mahomes is such a system quarterback if you're going to...
Dude, he's changed the way he's played.
Everything... Exactly.
He started off slinging it down the field, and he's changed to be a game manager now. Like, he just dumps it off now.
Pat Mahomes was just talking about how he wants to incorporate the deep ball again. That's what they're working on.
Okay,
so
that's fine,
it's all according to what their game
both.
plan is.
He's had success doing both, though.
But it's all through a system. He's not a quarterback that just does whatever he wants. Like, it's very coordinated.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying he can have success in different types of offensive schemes. I don't think Joe Burrow's in an offense slinging it down the field. I don't think Burrow's having a ton of success. In a mobile system like the Ravens system, I don't think he's having a ton of success.
I mean, the system is built around the quarterback's abilities.
Right, and that's what good franchises do. They build it around the quarterback and they don't let him go. I'm just saying, like, there's nothing wrong with being a system quarterback, but that's what I see J.J. McCarthy as, too, is, like, if you build a solid team around him, I think he'll be good. Kind of like Michigan. Michigan built a great team around him.
Yeah, but
he knows how to win with a good team.
But J.J. McCarthy was, for the most part, a game manager for that Wolverines offense. But... yeah. The biggest thing they say is when they asked him to throw the ball, he made it happen. So
yeah, the Wolverines are definitely run the ball better than the Bengals for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So it's a little bit different.
Yeah,
I mean, I envision. I think if Justin Herbert wasn't in Los Angeles, that Harbaugh would have tried to get his hands all over him.
Yeah,
J.J.
definitely.
McCarthy. You know, because he really wants to run the ball. He wants to get it to tight ends. He wants, J.J. McCarthy is his dude. But he's got Herbert, so we'll see if it suppresses Herbert's ability, because I think Herbert can slang that thing. But I think Herbert's kind of sick of not winning at this point. So
yeah, I mean, just getting back into the topic, reviewing some teams' drafts that you brought up, the Chargers. Joe Alt is one of my favorite picks out of that draft for him.
Such a safe pick,
especially just with the way their system is run.
Yeah, zero aura
for Harbaugh.
Zero aura.
Zero aura.
Joe Alt,
man,
Hall of Famer. Zero aura.
You already know he's going to be a Hall of Famer. I mean, he's a redneck fisher.
Dude, him and Rashawn Slater, like Justin Herbert may just dump the ball off all year, but he's going to have a blast.
Rashawn Slater's got to stay healthy, though.
It's true. For the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think Pittsburgh Steelers nailed the draft last year.
Who was their pick?
I think they nailed it this year. They went offensive line in the first round. Troy Fautanu. I was thinking the Bengals should have taken him.
Yeah.
And then the second round, they went offensive line again, and they got Zach Frazier, probably the second best center in the class. And then the third round, they went receiver, and they got Peyton. Oh, no. They took 2 receivers in the third round, didn't they? Let me.
Yeah, and I think they went. I think they went guard last year with Broderick Jones out of Georgia, I believe it was.
Yeah, Broderick Jones. Oh, they took Roman Wilson in the third round, receiver out of Michigan.
Great pick.
And they took Peyton Wilson. They took arguably the top linebacker in the class. Like, I love the draft for the Steelers, and
I think they had the best draft.
Steelers balled out for sure.
Yeah.
I honestly think a couple other teams that. It was tough to, like the Bears, right? It's tough to have a bad draft with the situation they were in.
Yeah.
I'm a big Rome Odunze fan, so.
I mean, there's a lot to be excited for with Bears, definitely.
What do you think about Rams doubling up on Florida State interior linemen? They went Jared Verse in the first round, edge rusher out of Florida State. And then in the second round, I believe they went the interior guy. Yeah, they went Braden Fisk. I feel like the Rams just always draft well, though.
Well, yeah. I mean, with the Rams, you have the explosion of Puka. So they didn't realize what they had until he started balling out.
God, yeah.
You said what?
The Mormon God.
Oh, he is Mormon, isn't he?
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like a Mormon, though.
Yeah. Well, I think he identifies as Mormon because Matthew Stafford won't throw the ball to anyone with a little bit of color, and Puka has a little bit of color.
But the fact that he's Mormon makes Matt Stafford a lot more comfortable for trustworthiness and whatnot. You know? So I think the explosion of the Rams offense, they could win a couple of playoff games this year after that draft.
Yeah, and I mean that division's open for I'm not big on the Cardinals. I'm not big on the Seahawks until they get a quarterback. Obviously, the Niners are what they are, but I think they're about to explode in the next couple of years with the contracts that they're.
Yeah, I couldn't believe Geno got extended.
Not a Geno fan.
Not a Geno fan either.
Not a Geno fan.
One of the few things we could agree on.
Not a Geno fan at all.
But yeah, back to the Steelers draft. I think the Steelers drafted amazing. I think on paper the Bengals should have took Troy Fautanu, but no, they signed a right tackle, Trent Brown, in free agency, and you have a guy in Amarius Mims, it is, that the Bengals drafted.
Big dude.
That has extreme potential. He could come out being the best player from the draft easily, but played about half a season and is very, very raw. So put him in the backup.
You do know he's in the same draft class as Caleb Williams, though, right?
I'm not a Caleb Williams fan.
I don't think Caleb
my favorite
Williams.
Princess. Yeah, I mean,
what do you think about the Eagles draft? Double up on defensive back. Double up. And Cooper DeJean in the second round is insane to me. I was thinking the Bills were going to take him at 33. I was thinking the Eagles might have taken him with their first round pick. For them to get him in the second round, to me, is crazy. And then, Quinyon Mitchell. Quinyon Mitchell slipping to him in the first. In my mock draft, I had him trading all the way up to like 12 to get him. They ended up getting him right at 22.
Yeah. So. I think, what position is Quinyon? Cornerback? Yeah, I think
the guy from Toledo.
I think for the Eagles, they definitely needed a back cornerback because they lost both of their corners to free agency, right?
Right. Little side note as far as draft steals, too. Adonai Mitchell has been balling out, but I honestly thought he was going to go in the first round. I'm surprised he lasted that long.
I would have taken Mitchell over Worthy.
Oh yeah, me too. I'm not big on Worthy. Did you see the video of Xavier Worthy throwing the money?
Yeah, I did see that.
I saw a meme. I'll try to pin it.
You know how I saw that on TikTok? Do you know Last Chance U, Coach JB?
No.
Yeah, this is one of our first examples of Nate living under a rock. Have you ever seen Last Chance U on Netflix?
No, I don't watch Netflix.
For those who know, Coach B, just a crazy coach, made a TikTok and he's reacting to like NFL news and just going off on Xavier Worthy for the video he made. It's crazy. I mean, the Chiefs, I think most of their offensive line got arrested.
Dude, the Chiefs have some really fast receivers.
They're super fast.
Super fast. Xavier Worthy, super fast. Hollywood Brown, super fast. And
they're really fast and they run away really fast.
Rashi Rice, really fast. I mean,
really fast.
They're really
in
fast.
the vehicle and out of the vehicle running away from it after he crashed.
Chiefs got the speed. They got it. Chiefs got the speed. Also, shout out to the Chiefs for having the most controversial special teams room in the NFL. But I am upset they got the punt god from my Buffalo Bills. But
But yeah, going back to the cornerback Eagles discussion, did you know they didn't lose their corners to free agency? James Bradbury is just trash, and they're trying him at safety now. So that's kind of
Really? I didn't
where
know
they're at
that.
with,
He is
with
trash.
that. So, yeah, I think Eagles had a good draft. They did what they needed to do.
Do you have any, we already talked about Michael Penix. I think that's going to be everyone's reach. Do you have any big steals from the first, second round that you were like, wow, I would have liked to have him at an earlier position, or I can't believe he slid? I mean, like in the past, we've had some crazy draft slides, right?
Yeah.
Like Billy Levis last year. We got to stare at his
Billy Levis?
Yeah, we had to stare at his really attractive girlfriend all night, and he didn't even get drafted. And then she dumped him.
Is his name Billy or Will Levis?
I think it's Will Levis, but it's Billy Levis. So.
He's not relevant enough for us to consistently get his
He's
name.
relevant now.
He's pretty relevant now.
Yeah.
For eating bananas or
he's quick with it. He's quick with it.
Bananas. What?
But we got to stare at Gia Duddy all night, and then he didn't get drafted, and she dumped him for Morgan Wallen after that, I think.
She did. I was going to ask you if
Yeah,
you heard
because-
about. Is that true? The Morgan Wallen? They went to a Morgan Wallen concert.
I don't know.
Morgan Wallen.
I have no idea. Girls have an obsession with Morgan Wallen. I think they like guys that throw temper tantrums in bars, but that's just me. Great
good
music,
point.
though. Great music. So,
But yeah, going back to
biggest steal? You got
biggest steals
big
in
steal.
the draft. I think one of the biggest steals in the draft was Brock Bowers. I think it was in the 20s. Was it
12.
or like 18?
12.
It was 12.
Yeah.
So probably not that much of a.
I mean,
steal
some
then.
people had him going in the top 10.
I mean, some people even had him in the top 5. But
Yeah.
one of the worst situations for Brock Bowers, they just drafted Michael Mayer last year. Probably actually just a bad situation for Mayer
12 personnel.
because
right
the
there.
Raiders just don't need another tight end. So
mean,
I guess they're already calling it quits on Mayer unless they want to run two tight ends.
No. They'll run 12 personnel. Mayer was
Yeah.
like, a lot of people had him as the top tight end coming out last year. I didn't. I had Porta because I know ball. But weren't you really upset when the Bengals didn't draft Michael Mayer last year?
Yeah, that's definitely who I wanted. I still think if he was in that system, he would have done amazing.
Yeah. Especially like with the Bengals with a lot of dump offs. So like he definitely would have thrived there. I
Well,
have
just the pass protection is what they really could have used out of him.
Yeah.
I
have Kingsley
Suamatea.
Suamatea from BYU. I was so surprised that the Chiefs. I was thinking maybe the Chiefs would take him in the first round. To get him in the second without trading up, to me was insane. And Chiefs just keep this long rotating wheel of tackles going. As long as they have their solid interior three, it seems to be working for him. But that's always the weak point is the tackles, and I think he might clear it up for him.
Yeah, I lost a lot of offensive line talent coming into last year and ended up still making it happen and winning the Super Bowl. So
Right.
I mean, they got it going for them.
Hey, every team gets lucky every once in a while.
Yeah. So for them, they just have great locker room guys.
They do.
And just outstanding citizens playing for them. So
They do. We haven't heard a lot of Jackson Mahomes recently.
What is up with Pat Mahomes always having to manage the people around him and just keep them to behave themselves? Does that just solidify him as the greatest of all time at that point?
I mean, seems like all these quarterbacks that people like to praise had to deal with a lot. Like Brady had to deal with, good old Hernandez and
Killer teammate.
killer team. And he had to deal with Belichick too. So,
Yeah.
all right, we're on to the next segment here. This segment is going to be sports news. So this is the sports news segment. We're going to dive into some of the latest sports news, give our takes on it, and hopefully not go off on too much of a tangent, but maybe we will. We'll see. First one up is Justin Jefferson got extended finally. Did you think he was going to get extended, or do you think he was going to get traded?
I didn't. Yeah, I thought he was going to walk away from the Vikings or get traded. It's funny, they had the whole Cincinnati thing. There was rumblings of the LSU trio getting reunited, but I mean, for that amount of money, I'd play for any team. So,
$140 million. That's 4 years. 110 guaranteed. Highest receiver contract ever. I'm pretty sure.
highest paid non-quarterback in the league.
Yeah, $35 million per year. So, what would you say that means for the Vikings going forward? Do you think it changes anything for them? And what would you say it means for this receiver market is not hot right now. Like, no one is signing. CD's still out there. T hasn't signed. Jamar hasn't got extended. Tyreek wants a new deal, apparently. Obviously, Jalen Waddle just signed, but what would you say it means for the league?
I mean, for the league, they're only going so much higher in cap space. So players are making a lot of money. But for the Vikings especially, a lot of people think that they're spending too much money on a receiver like that. You're getting every penny with a Justin Jefferson. So
Yeah. Would you rather have Justin Jefferson and a first-round pick, or would you rather have Stephon Diggs?
Just Stephon Diggs?
Oh, yeah.
You said Jay Jettas in a first-round pick or just Stephon Diggs?
Yeah, I mean, that's what the trade was, so.
I'd probably rather have Diggs.
Hey, what teammate wouldn't you like date your sister? Diggs.
Hey, he's a great guy, apparently. I'm a great guy.
Yeah, I think going forward, I mean, I don't know. All these receivers are so greedy. I'm in maybe the minority mindset.
Greedy.
I don't think paying a receiver is worth it. I think you should build your I mean, look at what the Patriots did. Look at what the Chiefs have been doing. I think you get your quarterback, you solidify your offensive line. If you want to build it around a star player, it's got to be a tight end because you don't have to pay him as much. And when those receivers want money, let them walk.
I'm more so defensive line than tight end to give big money to have a number 2 piece.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But tight end's never really big money. Like
Travis Kelce just signed a contract. It was for a good amount of money.
Where would Travis Kelce's contract rank compared to other receivers?
2 year for $34 million. Yeah, that's like not a crazy contract. But as far as getting a tight end who's really the second best player on your team, that is pretty rare.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up here.
I mean, other than the Chiefs and then Brady and Gronk, you kind of haven't had that dominant of a duo in a long time. But if I want someone dominant to win me Super Bowls in any other scenario than that, I don't know what I'm getting for any other team. I would value defensive linemen more than that just because, I mean, look at Aaron Donald. I mean, that dude is just a game wrecker. But or like a Max Crosby player like that. So
yeah,
would you put Max Crosby in your top 5 D linemen?
Rushers?
Yeah,
edge rushers. Yeah. So we have on here, just to bring it back to this: Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown, Amon-Ra, Tyreek, Waddle. Next receiver on here is Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp, Devontae Smith. I don't think this is... Did I say Waddle? I don't know if it's taking that into account yet. Nico Collins is crazy. DK Metcalf, Debo. Like, all these guys are getting paid more than Travis Kelce.
Yeah, Nico Collins just signed a huge contract. I think it was like $50 million.
Which is crazy.
But anyways.
But, yeah, what do you predict the rest of the receivers get? Do you think they top Jettas? Do you think they're right below it? Obviously, CD, Jamar, the two big ones. T. Higgins is not going to get more than him.
You said T. Higgins?
T. Higgins isn't getting as much as Jettas.
Yeah, T. Higgins will get wide receiver 1 money, but I think Jamar and CD will both make more than Jefferson.
You think they both go up?
Absolutely, yeah. I don't think Jamar Chase is going to ask for less unless there's just more.
I don't think he should either.
I agree with you there. I don't think Jamar will sign this offseason. He is eligible, but training camp is starting to get ready to ramp up.
Yeah.
He's probably going to miss that window. But a lot of guaranteed money these players are getting nowadays. It's pretty crazy.
You really missed out on Jefferson. You guys could have had the gritty train in Cincinnati with Mike Gesicki, Jettas, and Jamar. It'd be a lot of grittying going on. All you needed is Mac Jones.
It's true. Mac Jones.
Someone show me the Mac Jones clip real quick. I need to see this one time.
Mac Jones gritty.
That's a green in front of him. Now has it. Oh, where are they going to spot it? Mac Jones.
Okay, next topic we got is Luka Doncic is going into the finals this week. I think we both agree that they're winning. Where do you, before this is all said and done, where does Luka rank in the NBA right now? Because a couple years ago, I've had him in my top 5. People are thinking I'm crazy. Where'd you say he is now? Is he top 10? Is he top 5? Is he the best player in the league? Where do you have him, Bailey?
Yeah, Jokic won the MVP this year, but I think Luka got snubbed. I think he definitely should have won the MVP.
Joel Embiid got snubbed.
Joel Embiid did not get snubbed. If anything...
He was going to win it, though.
Who's going to win the finals?
No. Joel Embiid was going to win the MVP before he got hurt.
You think so?
Yeah.
When did he get hurt? Then halfway
like 30
through?
games left in the season.
Yeah.
He was going to win it.
Yeah, he was on pace to win, actually, now that I think about it.
I think it should have been Shea, to be honest.
Yeah, I was going to say, if not Luka, definitely SGA, especially with how young he is in his career. But to have someone like Kyrie on your team and be happy with the number 2 role that he has this year, especially with all the past 3 teams he's been unhappy with, is so impressive.
Right.
If you can get Kyrie in a number 2 role, you're probably going to win a championship because that's what happened. You know, you have Kyrie in a number 2 role, you might come back from a 3-1 deficit.
It's true. But Kyrie kind of carried LeBron in that.
Most definitely.
Right. La Bum Bum.
And there's a lot of cases of Robin saving the day for Batman with Kyrie. especially in some of the few last games in the conference finals.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So where you got Luka in your rankings in the NBA right now?
I got Luka firmly at 1 just because I think he should have won the MVP.
Yeah. I mean, outside of Luka, who would you rather have on your team in the league? If you're considering injuries, there's not many. If you're not considering injuries, I mean, you can make an argument for Jokic. You can make an argument for Embiid. You can make an argument for I don't know who else after that.
You're saying to build your team around?
Giannis, maybe. Yeah, you could make an argument for Giannis. Outside of those 3 fellow Europeans, I mean, Europe is dominating the league.
Europe is dominating the league.
Who's the best American player right now?
Probably Jason Tatum.
No.
You don't think so? I mean, who else? Who else do we have other than Jason Tatum?
Hey yo, let me get a night with Deuce. Get a night with Deuce.
Hey, baby Deuce, Loki.
No. I'm
Top
thinking.
5.
Yo, hot take. Jimmy buckets over Jason Tatum.
That is unbelievable.
Going back to the Sixers this offseason.
But you're a Sixers fan.
We got him back. I never threw out the jersey. Jimmy buckets is on his way back.
Yeah.
Tobias Harris over me.
Another player that I build my team around is SGA, just because look at how young he is in his career, and the dudes on that team will.
What about Wemby Lamla?
Wemby Lamla is a rookie this year.
He lead the league in blocks.
I don't know if I'd build my team around Wemby in contrast to everyone else in the league.
Yeah.
Could be if that was your pick, I couldn't argue.
Yeah. Only other 2 I can think of are Steph and KD. Have those 2 fallen off?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're done.
But not in their prime.
Yeah, borderline.
All right. Next topic we got on here, we talked about him earlier, is Shohei Ohtani. So the MLB has been cracking down on betting. They actually just banned a player for life, I think, yesterday. And Shohei's just sitting here smiling that he's got an interpreter. What do you think on the whole Shohei Ohtani thing? Should the MLB... I think everyone agrees. He was betting, right?
I don't know. If I were to give a super wild guess, I'd probably say he was involved in the betting. But his interpreter was making some money moves.
Yeah,
and stole some M's out of that bank account.
Yeah. I think, it's a tough move for MLB, right? Because they're a business at the end of the day, and Japan is firing on all cylinders with all their players right now. So, but I do think, it's a tough situation too, because if you did suspend him, it's not a harsh punishment, but you're basically admitting. It's kind of like when the NFL admitted that Brady was deflating footballs. They were like, all right, we'll admit it. We're only going to give you a 4-game suspension. But then everyone else was like, wait. You just admitted that he cheated, and all you're giving is a 4-game suspension?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. There's really not a way to prove that he was involved more or less than he actually was.
Bailey
This is
has
the
knocked
second
that
time
off.
knocked off of the desk.
Yeah.
We only have like 40 things up here, so 39 out of the 40 are staying on the desk.
As
We're doing
Pete
good.
Rose once said a couple weeks ago, if I had an interpreter, I'd be in the Hall of Fame.
That's a great point.
Shouts out Pete Rose. If he wasn't such an asshole, I think he would be in the Hall of Fame. But all right, last segment we have on here is SuperBowl Odds. So I got a little game I want to play with you, Bailey.
Let's do it.
Have you taken a peek at SuperBowl Odds recently?
Yes.
You have?
Chiefs, let me try to guess.
Okay, I want you
I'm going to say the Chiefs are at 1. I'm sorry. Is this to win or to appear?
This is to win.
This is to win. I'm going to say Chiefs, Niners, Ravens, and then Bengals.
Right now, this is on FanDuel. They have Niners at 1.
Niners at 1. I almost was going to say that.
It's an easy, safe choice, for sure.
I could go into a deep rabbit hole about Kyle Shanahan, how he's single-handedly destroyed the last 3 Super Bowls he's been a part of, starting with the
No, I agree.
Matt Ryan.
He's a big choke artist. He's kind of like Sean McDermott.
Yeah. Couldn't get anything going for Matt Ryan. Blew the 28-3 lead, and then we go to Pat Mahomes. First Super Bowl win. If you look at it mathematically, it was actually impossible.
Okay, Jimmy
for the Chiefs to win the
Garoppolo, though,
game.
that throw.
Yeah, the throw, but
Emmanuel Sanders was booty cheek naked open.
but you didn't have to throw the ball at all, and you would have
that's
won
fair.
the game.
Yeah, that's
so the drive before the Chiefs tied it, you can go back and look. It was mathematically impossible for the Chiefs to touch the ball enough times if they had ran the ball, even to 4th down and gain no yards. So first 2 play calls of each of their last 2 drives were runs.
Yeah.
They averaged 4 yards per carry, and then the next 2 was 2 incomplete passes and gave the Chiefs enough time to go and win it. So
Yeah, and Mahomes
just
played
terrible.
horrible. Mahomes played horrible that game, too.
Yeah, just terrible game planning. I wouldn't say, I don't know. I think it's one of the best Super Bowl performances just because of that jet chip wasp throw.
Is that what?
Jet Chip Wasp. You don't know about Jet Chip Wasp?
Are you talking about Mahomes right now?
Yeah.
Bro, that Super Bowl was horrendous.
You know they made a play in Madden after that moment.
So bad that game.
This is the difference between me and you. I think we both measure quarterbacks off of consistent talent more than big-time moments. And
No, I think you measure them off
it
of
makes sense
big-time
when
moments.
Josh Allen doesn't have a lot of successful big moments in the playoffs, and Joe Burrow does, and that's why you don't value him more than Josh Allen. But, it's just what it is. It's a big moment. Pat Mahomes in the Super Bowl, big
Joe
moment.
Burrow hasn't had a big moment in the playoffs.
Joe Burrow has had multiple big moments in the playoffs.
All right, we're not going to get in this tangent, but Joe Burrow has one game over 300 yards in the playoffs. But you were right, Chiefs, Ravens, and you were right with the Bengals at 4, but they're tied with 2 other teams. Can you guess what those 2 other teams are?
I'm going to guess the Eagles and the Jets
You're off on both of them.
on both of them.
Yeah.
What are they?
Lions are one of them. Tied, same odds as the Bengals, and Bills, same odds as the Lions and Bengals.
That's half disrespectful for the Bills aspect of it. The Bills aren't going to win more than one playoff game this year.
I don't
It's
know.
not going to happen.
I mean, I disagree, but I also disagree every year, and Sean McDermott finds a way to choke every single playoff. So I have no
you could shift blame
expectations.
in
I have no
other places.
expectations anymore. But hey, one of these years, Josh Allen's defense is going to come through. He's going to get his ring.
That is true.
All that matters. One of these years, he might get a pick six at the goal line at the end of the game from a defensive end that saves his butt in the playoffs, like Sam Hubbard did to
That's
Joe
a
Burrow
good point. That's a good point.
against a third-string quarterback.
They were letting Tyler Huntley cook them for most of the
Huntley was
game up
cooking
until the
them.
fourth quarter. So they kind of,
Yeah, Tyler Huntley outplayed
kinda
Joe Burrow
even
that
their-
game too, which is crazy.
when you're playing against a terrible defense until the fourth quarter, that's kind of what you get. They were
And
playing
then-
horrible.
Okay, who do you have for worst odds this year? Because I think it'd be obvious, but there's a couple teams here I'm like, I could see that.
Worst odds.
Worst
this
odds to win the
year?
Super Bowl this year.
I'd probably go with the Broncos.
Broncos are third worst. There's two
worst.
teams with worse odds than the Broncos.
I think Commanders either last or second to last. Are
Nope.
they in that top three?
Nope, Commanders
Or
are
bottom three?
fourth worst odds.
NFC or NFC?
One of each.
One of each. I'm blanking. I can't
You're blanking?
draw.
New England Patriots, first year with Drake May and Jared
Really?
Mayo. They got May and Mayo. Someone needs to make that a t-shirt. And then Carolina Panthers have the worst odds.
Oh,
Bryce Young
absolutely.
can't see over the offensive line.
I think Bryce Young is gonna make himself a top 20 quarterback this year, though.
I could see it. I mean, first overall pick, top 20 quarterback, it's still a bust. But
Yeah,
it could be worse. That receiving core is a lot better this year. And they've got Xavier Leggett, one of my favorite prospects this year. And he's got a really funny accent. So
it's a strong accent.
it's a strong accent. Xavier Leggett and Keon Coleman going back-to-back picks is hilarious to me because they're both so funny in interviews.
Yeah, Keon Coleman, I feel like tries a little too hard to be like
He's not trying.
loved.
He's not
but
trying.
I disagree. I think.
Bro, he's so authentic.
You
You can go watch his old videos from college. He's so authentic.
I could be wrong, but
And he knows ball, too. Like, he sounds like an idiot in a lot of his clips, but they ask him to break down some football stuff. He knows ball. You can tell he's a zone beater. He's not a man guy.
he knows his Macy's coats also.
He knows his Macy coach. So, all right, well, that's all I have for today. So, hope you enjoyed our first episode. We're just going to keep getting better, hopefully, each week. Thanks for your support. It does us a lot of help. To subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're watching this on YouTube, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.